Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I thought I would start the year off with an organisation for 2020 and talk productivity and show you how I plan out my entire year. Year? Yes, year. I know what you're thinking, like how on earth can you plan out an entire year in January? And trust me, a lot does go into it. And I'm going to share with you how my planning can make the year work better for me and how I can utilise it the most. How I see it is, if you're a successful business, at the end of 2019 or beginning of 2020, you're going to be writing a business plan for the year. This business plan is going to look into the entire calendar. It's going to look at the peaks and troughs of the year. It's going to plan for some threats. It's going to plan for some weaknesses and also for some opportunities. So what I'm suggesting is that you run your life kind of like a successful business, because why not? Why would you not want to make the most of it? So what I kind of do really at the beginning of the year is a SWOT analysis for the year, which enables me to look at those areas where I could miss opportunities and prevent that from happening, but also utilise and maximise the potential that my year can give me for a really great year. So I'm going to begin now and share with you some of my top tips. The main tool that I'm going to say you will need for this is Google Calendar. Like, me and Kieran really rely on Google Calendar now. We started using it, I think it was last year, maybe 18 months ago. We put this into effect and it really does help our lives so much, and it can also go as far as saying save marriages. Trust me on that. So what I want you to do is either get on your computers and get Google Calendar or download it on your phone. I have it on my phone. You can share calendars with your spouse. You can also invite them to events and what have you. So on my Google Calendar there, you can see that I have different colours. So different people are colour coordinated for different things. And throughout the year, I have just planned in all that. You can see that that's like a busy one, but I've planned in the different things. But what this enables me to do is me and Kieran can communicate properly. We both get notifications, and some of the items that you put in there are recurring items, so you can actually put a recurring calendar in there, which is just fantastic. I prefer it so much better than the iPhone calendar. And also I've always relied on like a paper diary, but I never thought of like, what if I lose it? And sometimes it doesn't really work for me. I do forget things if I forget to look in there. So by having this, it's always stored. If you lose it, that's fine. If you lose your phone, you can just get a new phone and you can log straight in there, or you can log onto your computer and it's all there saved for you. So it really is a great tool to have. The other thing that I utilise are to-do lists. So I have my Gmail calendar and my to-do list, and I'm really trying to minimise as much paper as I can. But I use these. These are just from Poundland, and you've got like your daily to-do list of what you need to do. So I'll have my appointments and events on my Gmail calendar, my important things, and then like my day-to-day to-do stuff goes on here. So the first thing that I would advise once you've got your tools ready is to actually schedule in a business meeting with your spouse or other half or what have you. This way you can sit down together, you can plan out your events, you can plan out your years, you can look at where your threats and your weaknesses are, you can look at where your strengths are and your opportunities for the year, and you can really utilise that. This might not all happen in one sitting. We've discussed this a few times, we've added things in, we've taken things out, we've rearranged things that didn't work for us already, and that's ongoing. That can go throughout the year. When a business makes its business plan at the beginning of the year, it doesn't account for changes that might happen halfway through, but it knows that in the event of a change, you are prepared for it. And that's what a business plan is, and that is what we are doing with our year. So we know if a curveball does come our way, no problem, we can just amend that. We can have another business meeting. We can schedule them in our Gmail calendar because we're all set to go. But yeah, definitely recommend having a sit down meeting, planning it all out, preferably when you've not got kids about. Just take the time, like you two, to just organise the whole thing. The second thing that we've done this year, and it's actually the first time we've done this, is to set a theme for the year. I saw this on Jordan Page's channel at funcheaporfree.com, and I thought this was a brilliant thing. I always set goals, but I never have done a theme. So after much consideration, we have thought of the theme strengthen for this year. So everything we do throughout the year will go into strengthen. So what that means is we want to strengthen our relationship, we want to strengthen our family bond, we want to strengthen our home, we want to strengthen our health and our well-being, and we want to strengthen our careers. So everything that we are planning in throughout the whole year is going to go into, sorry, I'm just messing with my hair, it's going to go into strengthening those things. So that way we can really utilize events and things like that that meet our needs and put that into the calendar so that we're prepared for that all year to hit our achievement of that theme. The next thing I would suggest is kind of the same way as a theme, but is an actual goal. But this could be different types of goals. So you could have health and fitness goals, you could have financial goals, you could have personal goals. It could be that you have, you know, your New Year's resolutions kind of things. You want to kick a habit, you want to do certain things, you want to travel somewhere. Set that goal and then you can plot in where you're going to do it. So if it is, for example, that you want to get fit or you want to lose 10 pounds, it could be that you schedule in each week a gym session so that you know when it is, your partner knows when it's going to be, you both can see it on the calendar, and once it's in that calendar, it's in that calendar and you've got less of an excuse to get it done, like to not get it done, because it's in the calendar and it's there in black and white. Whereas if it's not scheduled in, you may forget about it. It becomes like less of a priority, because sometimes goals aren't necessarily things that are the highest of our priority every single day. They're normally something we need to work towards. So if you schedule that in each week, then it's going to be there and it's going to be visual. It's going to be sending you a reminder. You can even set reminders a few days before, and that's in there, and that can help you in your goal, and you can check in then with yourself throughout the year to see where you are against your goal as well. And that's where I like to write in my to-dos. I also write ToDo's. If you know Mrs. Hinch, you'll know what that is, where you can actually keep a track of what you've actually already achieved. You can even put that in the notes on your phone or in your calendar, and you can look back at the previous dates. And I think that's a really good way to track your goals throughout the year. The first thing that you're going to schedule into your calendar, which is probably the easiest thing to schedule in, is birthdays, anniversaries and holidays, that kind of thing, because those are the kind of things that happen annually on the same date every single year. And you can put an annual reminder in your phone, and once it's in there, and you don't need to do that ever again. So when it comes to next year's board of directors meeting for the year, you don't need to do that, because that's already going to be in your calendar from this year. So that's already a job done off the list. Also, what this will give you is the opportunity to look at when birthdays are and plan things. You can set reminders if you need to buy presents, especially if you have like people you buy presents for that maybe live far away and you have to ship them. So send reminders a little bit earlier to get those. Also, like to buy presents if you need to travel, you can maybe make arrangements for that. If you need to pay for certain things, you can budget for it, and it just makes life a lot easier. Also with this, you're going to be wanting to schedule in like your holidays such as Christmas, things like that, Easter, so you know when that kind of thing is on. If you have a look at your settings on Google Calendar, it normally has a setting for the country that you're in, and it will automatically put your bank holidays and things like that already in your calendar. One thing that has really helped me by planning early this year is the fact that the first May bank holiday, which is usually on the first Monday of May every single year, is actually on the Friday, not the first Friday, the second Friday, Friday the 8th. Yeah, I know, confusing, right? So this has really messed me up. Well, it would have done if I had not known, if I had not looked like further down the line. But because I've forward thought, I knew this. And sorry if that was like a news flash, that the 4th of May is not the bank holiday, it's actually 8th. So make some preparations if you need to, that your schools will be closed and maybe work will be shut. I don't know, it depends where you work, you might even be open. But schools will definitely be shut and you'll be needing to find some childcare, that is for sure. So it's a good thing to get these sort of things in early. Leading on from that, if you have children that are in school, you're going to want to get all of their school holidays on the calendar right away, because they are going to take up like a vast amount of the year and probably going to cause you a few problems if you are like me and are a working mother. I've got the school calendar from the school, so I know when the holidays are. I've scheduled all these in. I have invited Kieran to look at them, and I have also scheduled in the days that I am off. So he knows which ones I'm off. So either he can book off with me and we can do something together as a family, but he also knows the ones I'm not off. So he knows that every Thursday, Friday, we need childcare for the children. Henry is fine because he'll be in nursery, but when Penelope's school is shut, she will have no one to look after her. If we put her in an out of school club in summer, that is going to cost us £100 a week. So for those 4 weeks that I'm not off, it's going to cost us £400 for someone to look after her. So what Kieran has done is actually booked off the 2 days because he could see that there was no childcare there, and he's booked those 2 days off each week for the 4 weeks, so that he knows that he's going to have some time to spend with Penelope, which will be really nice, that he gets to actually look after her instead of paying someone to look after her, which is going to be really good for their relationship, and also saves us a hell of a lot of money, because that 400 quid can go towards Christmas or can go towards the house or savings or whatever. It just helps on your budget if you plan early. And this doesn't just go for summer break, there's half term, there's Easter, there's Christmas breaks, there's just so many school breaks. By doing this, you can utilise these and make the most of them, and you can also then plan vacations in, you can make the most of those long weekends, rather than it just being that, oh, the kids are off today and we've got it off, but we didn't plan anything in, all right, so we'll just stay at home and we'll watch a film or we'll do nothing. But by looking at it in advance, you can have a look at things maybe you can book and utilise that time so that you're actually not having maybe just a wasted day doing the same sort of mundane stuff. You can actually plan something in that's a bit more fun and a bit more memorable, which I'm sure the kids will enjoy a lot more than just sitting at home. And you can also plan for it budget-wise or find something free. And this, I think, is really good for strengthening those family bonds. Which leads me on to my next thing, that if you have a look on your local websites, Facebook usually has something where, like a social group that you can have a look at events that are on throughout the year, and you can usually find some fun ideas that are either free or really inexpensive. And I did this last year for some of the holidays and it was really good. I found like a pantomime for £1, just really cheap things but were really good for the kids. By doing this, I can put a reminder in the calendar for it or for when tickets go on sale, and then I can have a look at activities that we can do. We can plot that in. It's the same sort of thing, it's just utilising the time off but then knowing what's there, whether it's something you have to book in advance or whether it's something that you can just show up on the day. Also, if it's like an evening social event, it might be something you want to schedule in for you and your other half to do. You can then plan for like babysitters, you can ask in advance so no one can be like, oh, it's too last minute, I don't know, I don't have any time, which is usually what we have. Buddy is just crying in the background. What's up, buds? That also coincides with my next tip, is to book in date nights. So one thing we really struggle with, and this year to strengthen our relationship, we are booking in the date nights. We always feel really cheeky asking people to look after the children. We really struggle to find babysitters. So this year we're going to try and make it our mission to find people who can watch the children and just spend that time for us, or even if it is just doing something at home but actually turning off the TV and spending that one-on-one time with each other. But by scheduling that in, we then know that actually we're going to have to do that, because I find that if it's not written down, it's not set in stone, then it's not going to happen. Also, we can then coordinate with like, okay, so you organised a date night last time, I'll organise it. You can, if you want to do it weekly, if you set it every Saturday night, for example, you can do a fortnightly calendar and alternate, and then you can get reminders sent to each other so that you know whose date night it is and who's planning something. What we have done as well is had a look at tickets for sale for shows that we might want to see, whereas if we hadn't have planned that, we wouldn't have known that tickets for a show at the end of the year is actually going on sale this month. So by doing that, we've been able to put in a reminder for the day the tickets go on sale, and also a reminder for when it nearer the time to get a babysitter, and that just works really well for us. One thing that you'll need to make sure that you do is book in some social events. This is something that I find quite difficult to do. I'm not very social because I have a really busy life, and socialising really comes to the bottom of my pile of priorities, to be honest with you. And I want to try and get that up a little bit more. I do find it difficult because I work full time, I'm doing a university degree, and I have 2 children under the age of 5 and a husband that needs my attention, plus 2 dogs and a house to look after. So when it comes to socialising with people, I do really struggle. And what I found last year, towards the end of last year, if I contact someone and then I schedule something in, I don't like letting people down, so I will make sure that I will go. Whereas if it's not properly scheduled in, it's something that might happen, might not, I can just be like, oh, I'm so really busy, I've got like university work, and I'll schedule that in instead. So by actually planning in my social events in my calendar, that way I'm not going to miss out on seeing friends and actually socialising and getting out there and, you know, being a little bit more fun. So I've already got some social events that I've put in there already, and And I've also been contacting people to like strengthen friendships and get out there so that we can like make the most of it and just book something in. And I think that that is really important. So that's it, guys. Really, those are my tips on how to successfully plan your year ahead and how to be really organised and make sure that you're actually maximising the time that you have throughout the year and don't miss any opportunities. I hope you liked this video today and found it really helpful and motivating. If you'd like me to do some more organisational and productivity videos, drop me a comment below and let me know what kind of things you'd like to see. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos, and I will see you in the next one.